Welcome to the Forward Ever podcast, where we highlight African immigrant leaders in New York and make visible the interest of Africans in New York's immigrant community. My name is Yata Kiozolu, and you're hearing the sounds of Yakuba Sissoko. In this episode, hosted by Ayomide Tikare, Mr. and Mrs. Agyemang, a Ghanaian couple that migrated to New York City in the 1970s, share stories of their immigration and their hopes for the future.
My name is Geoffrey and Mrs. I'm a Ghanaian, and I have been in New York for 40 years.
My name is Adelaide Agyemang, wife of Geoffrey and Mrs. Been here for 40 years or so. His is more than 40 years or so. Make his as about 45.
Thank you for introducing yourself. The first question I'd like to ask is, where and when were you born, and what was going on at the time?
I was born in Siakwa. It's in Ghana.
Same thing. I was born at Siakwa, a town in eastern part of Ghana.
At that time, my parents were living in Kumasi. So
Ashanti region.
In Ashanti region.
With me, I don't know. I don't remember anything that was happening over there. At that time, I was born.
Okay, so what was your childhood and family like at the time?
No, childhood was easy. Just go to school during the week, like Monday through Friday. And then Saturday you go to farm. Sunday you go to church. And then Monday you start your school again. Our families were lovely. Everybody loved you. Your aunts, your uncles. Now, what we had back in there, your uncle, like your mother's brother, is your uncle. Mm-hmm. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
But your father's brother is your father. You call them the same, father. But with your mother's brother is your uncle. And the name was Wofa, W-O-F-A, Wofa.
And as my wife has just said, weekends are different days and different activities that we do. Sunday is a must that you should go to church. So at that time, we have white shirt, coat, sneakers, to go to church.
We wear dress.
White dress to go to church. And after that, we come home and we go out to play with friends. So we play, boys, we play soccer, and girls, they play whatever. Whatever, what do you mean by whatever?
That must have been fun, or just really exciting to experience. Okay, the next question is, when did you migrate, and what were your thoughts and feelings on Ghana before you migrated?
Go ahead. 1970. We left Ghana in 1970.
Yeah, 1970. After I finished high school, I left to New York to join my junior brother, who was here about 2 months before I came in. And that was my country. I've lived there since I was born, so I feel good, everything I did.
I left Ghana to join my husband. I had no idea of migrating from Ghana because I loved Ghana. When I finished college, I was teaching, and I loved the life over there. And even when my husband asked me to come, I didn't want to come because I didn't know what I was going to face over here. Plus, I had some children, and I had to leave them back there. We got married before he left Ghana, and we had 2 children. He came back, and so I wanted, if I have to leave Ghana, I have to take my children with me. But he said, we have to come and get prepared for them. And so I left them for 2 years, and then after 2 years, they came. And when they came, I was pregnant. So they came, and then they met the next brother. I wanted to finish it, and then after that, I had Bobby Rabbit. He is the last one. So that's why I left Ghana. By immigration, no, I never thought of immigrate from Ghana.
Okay, then I also wanted to ask, for people who have never visited Ghana or even never heard of Ghana, what is one thing you would want them to know about it?
Ghana is a very peaceful country. They're full of hospitality. And it's a beautiful country, even though they call it backward. It's not backward like this, no. What they taught them in school here is quite opposite to what we have, quite opposite of Ghana. They think Africa is a dark continent. Africa is not a dark continent. Now, Ghana is a very vibrant country. They have everything, not in capacity like they have here. And the people are as civilized as people in the United States. We read a lot. Anything we don't know, we read. So there were some things that even we knew and that people here didn't know, even though they were in this country.
Few colonists were British-trained colony or British colony. During the slave trade, they were running the affairs of the country, like Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and so on and so forth. So when few people started immigrating into Ghana after independence, they became it took them by surprise to know that we have some places like Lagos, Accra, and some places in West Africa. Then it became like amazing to them that we have those things, but they were not thought. There are some cities, some countries back in West Africa. They didn't know even at all that development little bit has started. I went to technical school in Ghana before I emigrated here. And few people even heard, when we got here, few people knew Ghana is like a country like Ghana exists.
Wow, it's very true, actually. I feel like people don't really understand what Ghana or other African countries actually are when they think of Africa, because it's like they're not educated about it. But
No.
my question now, to flip the question in reverse, what did you envision the US and New York City to be before you moved? And was there a story that made you realize that you have truly migrated?
Yes.
Okay.
She would know. Well, because I was reading, because I was a teacher, I was reading a lot. I thought before I came here that United States would be a big place with wonderful things. We read about the Statue of Liberty before I came here. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'm going to see subways, tall buildings, United Nations. So I thought, I was imagining that, the streets I saw in pictures or in movies, the streets weren't like back home. They are all tiled or cemented. I thought there won't be even dirt on the street. That's what I envisioned because of what I've read. When I came, it was like that, but I think maybe I overthought about that. It wasn't that much.
You were exaggerating.
Yeah, I thought when I got to Kennedy Airport, my husband when I was going through the immigration, I didn't have a coat because I hadn't seen my husband yet. So I was feeling cold. When I got here, there was snow on the ground. And that's something that made me mad. I said, wait, what kind of a country is this? So how do people walk in here or go to work? I was thinking about myself. And then when I was coming, I came with papers. And there was a big envelope that they gave me. And that envelope had all the documents that I had to give them. So they sent us to a room and I gave it to them. And then in about 30 minutes, they came back with a very small card. I said, why? I gave you people this paper, so you brought me this little card. So when I came out, I told my husband, why did they give me this instead of the papers? He said, all the information that you brought in that paper, in that envelope, is on this card. I said, okay. The snow and the cold is what I did not envision when I was back in Ghana. Actually,
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe if I had come here in summer, it wouldn't have been different. But I came in winter. I got here December 13th, and it was cold.
Wow. December 13th. That's such a time. Because it would have been hot in Ghana, and then you come here and only to
Are
see
you
snow.
kidding? Yes, it would have been in Hamilton season. And then I come here and it's so cold.
Wow. Must have been so different. So different. Wow.
So different. So different.
And how about Mr. Agyemang?
So when I got here, I was focusing on how the education system is going to be. And so my brother came, met me, and took me home. He has a car, so I didn't.
What time did you come here? During the summer, the spring, or the winter?
Oh, that. When did I come here? I came here in June.
So he had a good weather.
I came here in June, and they took me around seeing so many big, tall buildings and subways. We went to like Coney Island and places. Then came 4th of July and so many things that it was amazing to see, like 31st night and Times Square.
Yes.
And so many things that was very strange. Yeah, I became happy. So everything was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And you see big cars at that time.
So many cars.
Small cars in Ghana.
The cars were coming from Britain, so
yeah,
they wouldn't be
British. Forget it.
We had British everything.
That sounds nice. I'm like, or not nice. The snow part doesn't sound nice, but seeing like just coming and seeing all the buildings and all the cars sounds fun. How did you adapt to living in the U.S./New York City, and what obstacles did you face, and how did you overcome them?
Well, with me, as soon as I got here, I had been here 2 weeks, and my husband all he took me to was Times Square and Coney Island because I had in a car. And so I didn't know my left to right. So I had to ask around, get the train, and I was able to come. Here, when you are able to read, you can go anywhere. All you have to do is pay attention to the notices. When you have to take the train everywhere, go to work every now and then, every day, you start getting familiar with the whole place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came to join my brother, my little younger brother. And so they took me around, and
So how do you job?
It came to a point that I told them I want to register to continue my education. I didn't find any difficulty that much.
Because you knew somebody here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so those were just questions about the past, but now I'm going to try to answer questions about like now.
Yeah.
So the first one is, what do you think of when you imagine home? So do you think of New York, the US, or do you think of Ghana or anything else? Like, what comes to mind when you think of home?
Home, with me, I think of Ghana when I say home, because this is not my home. You rent somebody's apartment. Anyway, it's home in a way, but when you have a house where you have relatives, even though we have the children here, the children are all grown, they're all left. You know, you don't see them daily like you want. So me, right now, when I think of home, I think of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Agyemang?
Agyemang, when you say,
I'm sorry?
he says the same.
Wow. All right. So what are your favorite things about America?
Oh, the news. That you get news all the time. You get what is going on. I like that. Oh boy. Family, like Thanksgiving, the family gathering. I love that because I cook and all the children, you have to come. For that day, if you don't show up, that's it. Your name is cancelled from this family.
Oh, wow. Forever?
Oh, yeah. You got to show up. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. We all have to get together and give thanks to God, you know, being Christians. I love the recreational, like botanical garden. I live across the botanical garden, and then across is the Prospect Park.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who love plants. So I used to take the one that Robert is after to the botanical garden. Every spring we go and learn the names of the plants and the flowers over there. And then I like the stores everywhere. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like the neighborhood. This neighborhood is nice. I remember when I got here, when my husband was working at 34th Street with a company, and they transferred him to, Delaware. It was a food something distribution company. And when the owner died, he left it for his two sons. And these two sons decided to divide it. So when they divided it, my husband went to the other side, one side, and this month he was taking his part to Delaware. My husband went there.
Oh, wow.
They were giving houses. But when I went to see them, my husband came in so happy. He said, "Oh, you will like the place. It has plants and flowers all over." I went to see it. It was a beautiful house. I would have loved to stay there. But girl, I had only boys. 3 boys and a girl. And from what I have read, that the white people, they don't like black boys. So actually, I didn't let him. Not that I didn't let him go. I didn't want to go, and he didn't want to leave us here. I said, "You can go and come back." No, we can't. He said no. So he had to give up that job. He was a director.
Wow.
And was bringing in good money.
Yeah. But I mean, you did it to protect your sons.
Yeah, hey. I don't want them to call when they say, "Oh, there's a thief," or somebody has raped somebody, and they come and pick my child because he's black. The racism, I read about it back home. So when I came here, and I said, no, I will not throw my children to those dogs. I wouldn't. So I like this place. This is the only place I've been at the house. We have never moved. When I came more than 40 years ago, we've lived here, had the children here, and they liked it here. It's a nice place. There's no trouble here. It's black neighborhood. Nowadays, it's white neighborhood. It's becoming white neighborhood because in this house, it's about 40 to 60%. The blacks here are about 60%, and the white people that have moved here for the last 5 years are white. They have been moving here because we are across the street from the Botanical Garden and the museum and then the Prospect Park. They love it here.
Yeah.
They love it here.
Wow. You mentioned something about the Christian community. So I wanted to ask about,
Okay.
What does the African Christian community in Crown Heights mean to you?
A lot. When I was home, like I said, when we were growing up, school during the weekdays, Saturday farm, and then Sunday you have to go to church because we are Christians. When I went to college, I wasn't doing it. At that time you are, free, you have your freedom, so you do whatever you want to do. So I didn't. And then when I came here, I had my husband, my children, who were all happy, had a job. My husband had a job. And I felt that there was something missing in my life. And then I realized it was that. So I started going to church with somebody. We're not going to just any church, not American church. We had Ghanaian churches here that we speak our language. So it was in Manhattan. That was the first Ghanaian Presbyterian church in New York. So I kept going, and at the time, we drive from here to Manhattan by the west side to 123rd Street. And by the time we get there, we are late. And during that time, there's traffic. So I went there for about 6 years, and then there was this older man that was one of their elders. So he lives about 10 blocks from here, so he used to pick me up and take me there. So I came one day when we were coming, and I suggested, why don't we establish some over there, because there are so many souls that need to be saved, Ghanaian souls that need to be saved in Brooklyn. And he said, that's not a bad idea. So about a year after, we decided to do that. So one of the founding members of, me and my husband, we are founding members of Ghanaian Presbyterian Reform Church in Brooklyn. That's the only Presbyterian church in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it has been something that I've been doing it religiously, God, every day, and I sing. So I loved. We formed a choir, and we have a quite a large, large members in that church. Now we call it Better Presbyterian Reform Church. We were at, our first location was at Flatbush and Church, Flatbush Avenue and Church. A big, this church was the name. It's a Reformed church. It's a landmark on Church and Flatbush. I think we were there for about 22 years. Then the Presbyterian Church of New York gave us a building to go and worship there, because here we used to share it with the people, the Dutch. It's a Dutch Reformed Church, yes. Dutch Reformed Church. So we used to share it with them. And then, so when we were given the church, the building, it's in Bay Ridge, very long place from here. It's a long ride from here, but we've been there for about 6 years now. And this is a place where there's nobody. There's no Ghanaian living there. You know how Bay Ridge is. There's no Ghanaian living in that area, but that's where they give us the church build or the sanctuary.
Oh, so that would have been far from people since no one was living there.
Too far, no. But churches are formed in the neighborhood. It's just, back home, you walk to your church.
Yeah.
But here you have to travel. It's not, but anyway, we go in on Saturday for choir practice, and then Sunday we go to church. But I've been doing it. We've been doing it. We love it because it's something like a tradition.
Yeah,
that's a tradition. So we're not grumbling where we're going.
Yeah,
because that's where you socialize, interact with the Ghanaians.
Now that the pandemic has happened, how have you been able to maintain that community now that everything has moved virtually?
Well, we do that on Zoom. Yeah, we do that on a Zoom. The service is done on a Zoom Sundays. But we've been given the chance for about, let's say, 34 members can go to the sanctuary. And it will be on the Zoom. So why bother? Why waste your time getting up in the morning? We've been home for some time. It's becoming lazy to get up in the morning to go to church. So many people prefer the Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me, I have never been to the sanctuary, but I always listen. I'm always on the Zoom on Sunday.
Wow.
And that gives us the Zoom. That virtual whatever is better than going there because we get more members. We get more members on the Zoom than in the sanctuary, going to the sanctuary.
So since being in the U.S. or since migrating, what have you learned about yourself, your community, and or the world around you?
Let's see. Since I've been here, I've learned that I'm capable of doing anything. If I want to go to school right now, I can go to school. Yeah. But what I didn't like, Ghana, after a certain age, you won't even have admission to school, But here, at any age, you can go to school. At any age, you can go to school. Even before this pandemic thing, you can go to a classroom. But now that is online, you can go to school, And I've realized that you can learn anytime. You learn every day. Back home, we help each other. We do help each other. Here, you can't do that. It's different here, only when you're people. But any other person, apart from your own people, you cannot do that. Walking on the street, somebody falls down right now. You cannot help the person. It used to be you touch the person and something happens, they sue you. So people watch and then you watch it too, but then you feel bad that you didn't help the person. Being who you are, it is different from other people. They don't care because they're used to it. But we are used to helping people. We are used to helping people. Help your neighbors. Here, I've lived here more than 40 years, and I can tell you, I only communicate with about 6 people here.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, this building has about 96. How many apartments? I think about 96. 96 apartments. But I don't know more than 10. I had a daycare here. And I left the city. I left the city and then came and opened the daycare in this building. The only people I know are the people that brought their children to me. There are people that have been here for a long time, but I don't know them because I used to be like when I was back home. When I meet you, I say, "Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening," and sometimes they look at you up and down, and then keep moving. So then I learned that you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to say hello to anybody. To mind your business. So I've been minding my business since then. But that it's not fun. It doesn't make you feel like a human being like when you were back home. Mm-hmm. And when you come to United States from Africa, you learn a lot. Even if you don't go to school, things that you see on TV, if you are able to listen to the TV or watch TV, watch the news, there are so many things you learn.
From Ghana, we have different areas where we live, like Accra, Kumasi, whatever, different
tribes.
Okay, so we have the same thing here, which promotes our activities here in New York and transfer it to Ghana to let them know what's going on in our community here.
So what a cool language.
Like we are here, we are in Ghana. We listen to everything goes on in Ghana at this time, and we take it to our meeting to transfer it to other members. That is one thing we have learned to put together ourselves.
Let me answer this question for him.
Okay.
Back home, we have tribes, and we live in our neighborhoods and all those. Even though we have mixed ones, but there's particular tribe that live in that city, and so we didn't take it that serious back home. But when we came here, we found out that it's better to be with the people you know people that you have things in common, people that you have the same culture and tradition with. So they formed associations here, which my husband was until about 5 years ago. He was the president of our area, the eastern part, our area, that tribe, the association, the president of that particular association. And they do things because they have things in common. They do things, our food, our clothing, and language, everything. So they meet and think about the area. If there's something they can, or there's something they can do for that area. Sometimes hospitals over there are not, they need some things like beds, blankets, and all these things. They do contribution, and then they buy those things to those hospitals in their area. And every part of Ghana, they have been doing it. Wow. We are from the same town, though, me and my husband. So that association will make contribution. And even here, let's say when you have to know people. And the people that you know is the people that you call when you're happy or you're sad. And they will come and celebrate whether with you. So that's what brought these associations. And he was the president one time for the National Associations of Ghanaians in New York. And if we need something, like if we have the consulate or the ambassador from Ghana to United States, if they need anything, we have to go to him and put our demands or whatever we think before them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, okay, I want to join this association because they're from Ghana. No, I'm not being like tribalistic, but you have to move with people you know, people you have things in common with. It's better that way.
Well, I'll move on to the last part, which is the future. Okay. So to begin, I wanna go back to what you were saying earlier about how when you think of home, you think of Ghana and how Ghana is still your home. So with that being said, do you have plans of returning to Ghana or leaving the US?
Girl, my things are gone. I'm waiting to do some tests, and there's no place like home, girl. There's no place like home. You go, the neighbors, you feel you are a human being back home. You are respected. And then the neighbors, no matter what, they come, oh, you came, okay, all right. I went to farm and there are some oranges here. I went to the farm and I have spinach. Everybody respects you. That's what I get from Ghana. I want to go home. I want to go home. Here, nobody has anything. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even when this pandemic came, the church started giving us, they gave us some food. Once they gave us food, after some time, nobody, even the elders and the pastor and all those people they call themselves, they don't even pick a phone and call and say, how you doing? At home, even people who don't know you, they get your number and they call, how you people doing? They said this, they said that. So how are you doing? When you coming home? When are you coming home? You need to come home. You need to come home. And our president wants us all to come home and live. He says Ghana is more like America here, even though there are no jobs like it's here. But we are retired, so we go and enjoy our life back there. The next, not even 6 months, 3 months, I'll be in Ghana.
Wow. That's wow. Okay, so then even though this doesn't really have to do with the future, why did you decide to stay in the US for so long?
Okay, when you come to US and you start working, you see they take money and put it down as the social security. If you don't have money, you stay until the duration of that, until you clock your whatever, the social security. So that, you don't have money down. So that's what you bank on, the social security and the pension that you get from your jobs. So we decided to stay till the end of it. And then when we retire, we get the money. Because if not, here, the children, and I'm saying children don't think about parents like we used to think our parents back home. We came here, you work, you have to send some money back home to your parents so they can live. They were not working. But here we worked and we have social security, so we have to. That's why we don't even bother our children we don't ask them to give you money or help you do something. So we have our own money to spend. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get that.
Because with us, it was an obligation to take care of our parents back home. But here, you guys don't. You don't have that obligation to take care of us because we made our own money, which means the social security and the pension is given to you every month until you die. So you will not become a burden for your children to take care of you.
No.
That's why we've stayed until and plus we wanted our children to grow up, find their own independence before we go, because it was not possible to take them back with you when you go in. But you wanted to see that your children are all okay before you go.
Yeah. Wow. So you pretty much stayed here so that, like, just for your children, pretty basically, right?
Yes, the children basically.
What changes would you like to see within the African immigrant community and in New York?
I would love to see them interact with their own more than the other communities. I'm not being whatever you think. I want them to focus on where they come from. Being born here doesn't mean you're an American. That's how I see it. Once you have parents from other country, you're not an American. You come from those parents. You're an American on a paper. When things get worse and they say, go where you come from, if you don't know where you're going, where would you go? So I would love for them in this America to think very hard about where they belong, to know where they come from, to know their culture, their traditions, so that they can teach their children when they have children. There are some people here who do not even know a word in their language, and that's sad. That's sad. When you know where you come from, you're proud. You're so proud. Oh, I'm a Nigerian, but I was born in the United States. That's so good. So I would want them to know where they come from. If you want to ask questions, read about them, no matter what. Even if they say we have what you call tales, go and see if we have tales back there. If you have to go visit where your parents come from. And like that, you can improve. We can improve our lives for us. Because that time when we were born, we were able to get out of there. And now we have nice homes for our parents, nice places for them to stay, enjoy whatever we give them. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you belong, it's frustrating. I don't know. I feel frustrated you have to at least know what your parents, what they wear, what they eat, what they speak, and other things, how they live. If you think how they live, you don't like it, you can improve it. You are in America. When we brought you here or when we had you here, we educated you. And so you are more advanced than we were. And you can get good jobs with more money. So don't forget to go home and see if you can improve your parents' life a little better back then.
Okay. How would you like to leave your mark on New York City or your community? And how would you like your community to leave a mark on New York City?
Okay, already last year, Ghana's independence, which is 2020, those of us, it was three of us, three women, like I told you, when we established the church, we were given an award by the Brooklyn Borough President at the City Hall. At the City Hall, we're given a segment. Oh, it was nice. It was nice. You were given citations, they took pictures and all those. I was happy. And that's when we realized that, so that we were doing, we thought it was just for us, but the whole Brooklyn know about it. Does that answer the question?
Yes. So, I mean, would you like to continue to do more things like that? Or would you like others to continue to do things like that?
Yeah. I would love for people to continue, like our children, to continue what we did here. Like this church that I established, I would have loved my children to be part of it, but they don't. Even though I know Robert doesn't speak the language that good. So he goes to that church with me, but the rest, they careless. I would want them to involve themselves in our communities. Like if they have certain knowledge, it can help our children. They have to be mentors of Ghanaian children over here. If they have anything like this COVID thing, there's so many nurses. Our children, when they came, most of them became nurses, doctors, or pharmacists. Whatever you do, you can help. Whatever you do, you can help so that the children will not go astray. You can help them.
What advice would you give to people considering migrating to the U.S. or Africans considering migrating to the U.S.?
Oh, please stay where you are. If you have a job to do that gives you money to take care of yourself and your children, please stay there. I've been telling them, so you say America is not good, why are you still there? They ask those questions. You tell them they don't want, they think as soon as you get to America, you just get up in the morning and there's money tree somewhere that you go and pluck the money. It's not like so. If you don't have anybody that you come into here, don't even think of it. You come here, you need a paper to stay here comfortably. You don't have a paper, you'll be looking over your shoulder all the time when you're walking. You won't get a good job. Now, if you have a job, home, please stay there. There are certain people that had businesses back home when they sold those businesses to come to Ghana, to come to America. And they came and they started regretting because you had a house, a place to stay, and people to talk to. Here, when you are alone, you are alone. Mm-hmm. You are alone. If you don't get a friend that cares much, or you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that will come and live with you, You're alone here when something is happening to you. We rely on what do you call it? 911, whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you want to talk to somebody, you can't call 911 and say you're lonely, so you want to talk to somebody. No, by home, you get out, even in front of your porch. You sit there, you take a chair, sit there, and somebody is passing by. Oh, hi, how are you? How have you been? I haven't been seeing you. People look for you. People look for you back home, So I think that's more fulfilling than being human than staying here and being by yourself or alone. No. Sometimes you live alone. In the night, something will happen and you didn't know what to do. Even though you know how to do, even when you get in a heart attack, you know how to survive. And call they teach us all these things on TV, so we've learned these things and call 911. But so if you had somebody with you, that would have been better. But hey, when you tell the Ghanaians, oh, you want to move to America, don't, girl. Everything is here. Oh, if everything is here, why didn't you stay here? Okay, why are you still there if you think Ghana is good? So you don't want to listen, girl.
Yeah. What of for people who are already here? Would you not people who were born here or who grew up here but lived in Ghana? Would you want them to still go back, or do you think that it's okay for them to stay?
No, they should go back. If me, I think they should go back.
Okay. Everyone should go back.
Everyone, yes. Yeah. Everyone. If I say go back, you can live here. And then if you think you love it here, you can go back periodically, see what is going on back there. You can't just stay here and say, I live in America, so I'm staying here. You become ignorant when you go home. But day in and day out, African countries are developing. We are developing rapidly.
So it's
not everybody want to go and live back home, but it's nice to be with the people you know. You live here alone. You have retired. You're still here. So what's the sense in that? Traffic here is the same as traffic in Accra. Same thing. The food here, back home you get fresh food. There are all advantages. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go. Oh, my children are here. The children, you don't live with any one of them. They come to you when they feel like. So what's this? I don't know. Not everybody has the same mind like I do. And it's not as dangerous as here. Here you got to be careful. Home, you're going home. You see people standing around. You know all of them. And since they know you, they will not harm you. Here, they don't care. As soon as they hear your accent, they treat you different. Go to a store and you're black, and you see them following you.
Yeah.
You see them following you. Because I'm black, you think I can afford that? If I can't afford that, I wouldn't have gone to that side. You won't be treated like this in your own town. As soon as you walk in the store, oh, ma'am, you want this, you need this, this is nice, this is nice. It makes you feel free, at ease, like a human being. Yeah. You are respected. Not here. So you're going somewhere, everywhere you go, you can't be yourself. You go to a party, you can't be yourself. So what's this kind of life? I remember we were driving Mercedes. We used to drive Mercedes-Benz. We were going to somewhere, I think Long Island. We were stopped. So this guy came to my husband and he asked, where's your license? We gave them everything, all the papers they need. And he said, what job do you do? As soon as he asked that job, I thought of the car we drive. Why would you ask that question?
Yeah.
You think we stole it? So my husband, I was going to say, I'm so, when it comes to that, no, I will not keep quiet. I said, you think we stole it? Then he looked at me and he kept asking my husband.
Yeah.
I said, you think we stole this car? So nobody can drive a good car except certain tribe or certain people? There was one guy, they were three. The one that was doing the questioning was white. There was a black guy with him. So he came and he said, oh, Mom, it's just a routine question. I said, so what do you think? What do you think? We think we stole this car? We didn't steal it. He works, I work. And so we do what we want. We buy what we want to buy, so long as our money we can afford. And he said, oh, Mom is mad. And it was a black guy that I calmed down, and then as soon as the guy saw, he was looking for so many reasons to delay us there. Where are you going and what? That's a white neighborhood. So we cannot go there. I have never liked it here, but I had to be here. I had to, like Adelaide Agyemang here.
Wow. What a story. That is such an experience. Well, that was the last question. I'm just so happy to know that in the near future, or in the next 6 months, as you said, that you'll both be back in Ghana, back in the community and in the sun and home, as you were saying earlier. But I also want to take the time to thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Agyemang, for sharing your stories with us. I've learned so much and I've really enjoyed interviewing you both. And I'd like to thank you, the listener, for listening to this episode. I'm sure you've learned so much from the Agyemangs, and I encourage you to listen to the other amazing stories on the Forward Ever podcast.
Thank you very much for listening to our story.
Thanks for listening to the Forward Ever podcast, a collaboration between African Communities Together and Barnard College. To learn more about African Communities Together and the many ways you can support our mission, visit our website at africans.us or follow us on social media. Our social media handle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is AfricansUS. Like, comment, and share. Forward ever, backwards never.